This week, we're talking about Treasure, Nicki Minaj, Steph Curry, and twerking, but not the kind that I love so much on this week's Worldstar Weekly.
Parental discretion is advised.
Worldstar! You know that rings in my ear. Anytime something happens, I'm like, Worldstar!
We just,
and
with
it's
the
horrible.
arms out.
It's horrible.
There it is.
Yeah,
We need you to do a cover of the song. What do you say?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Why me?
Because it's ringing through
Because
your
I'm
head.
black.
You're
I
feeling
get it, Mike.
Yeah,
I get it,
you're
Mike.
right. You got me.
That's what it is. There's nothing else. Why me? It does ring in my ears, and anytime something happens, I always think it's a Worldstar moment. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting for you to catch something and then just have us throw it on the show.
I've been on Worldstar a couple times.
Really?
There are a couple.
We'll have to research this.
That's a goal, man. I'm
never talk about it again.
I'm gonna have to put that on my bucket list.
Right,
getting
me
on
too.
Worldstar, but it'll have to be good.
No, it'll never be a good thing. So be careful of that. When you
It will
wish for
ruin you.
It will ruin you.
Okay,
Why do you think he's in a
interesting.
bathrobe?
That's a great point. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Worldstar Weekly. I'm your host, Michael Patterson. I've got a great panel of hosts next to me, starting off all the way on the end.
What's up, guys? It's Abby Fraher.
And of course, Tehran is in the building, meaning everything's all good.
Yeah, we got a really, really interesting energy today, but I like it.
Yeah.
This-
It's the energy. It's the energy of the weekend, and we're going to be talking about a lot of Halloween stuff
yeah.
later in the episode. So I feel that Halloween pressure all week long. Like my night hasn't ended since Thursday night. Like I'm finally catching up to life and right in the studio.
Yeah, man, are you good? You good? There we go. Well, like Tehran mentioned, we're going to be talking about Treasure, Nicki Minaj, Steph Curry's pronouncing names wrong. We got another crazy rapper this week. It's all over the place. This clip starting off right now. You know, when you think of entertainment, the top entertainment, you think of Dr. Phil, right? Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Dr. Phil,
Yeah,
right
sure.
here.
Mike's like, yes.
We got some quality entertainment on some quality television right here by a girl named Treasure. I've never heard of her before.
People try to tell
Well,
me
this
I'm
clip went
African-American,
viral.
but that's not true.
So this is
African-Americans
Treasure.
are loud, rude, obnoxious, and just altogether fat and ugly.
Speaking
If you
on
ask me,
African
My
Americans.
16-year-old daughter has a very out-of-control identity crisis. She truly believes she's white. When Treasure was 5 years old, I've noticed Treasure was having issues with her race. She wouldn't play with the black children. Treasure would mangle or destroy her black dolls. She would cut their heads off, pull off their arms. She would pretend that they were the white dolls' slaves.
That's
mom
scary
bought me
no matter
beautiful
what, but
white
it's even
dolls
scarier when you
instead of
find out
the
Treasure's
ugly,
actually
big
black
lip black
herself.
I felt mortified. I was a single mom trying to support a family. We couldn't afford to stay in our beautiful home. We moved from a mostly white, affluent neighborhood to the city, which was mostly African American.
From the suburbs to the hood.
So
I was not anything like other black people. They were all hood rats and they were all ghetto. They all act like monkeys.
Her school was
that's all we need to see.
Yeah.
That's all you need to really see of that clip. And it went super viral. If you didn't hear about Treasure over the weekend, Treasure's self-hate was something that was definitely very pronounced online. Black Twitter went crazy with this one. Of course, because Treasure is a black girl who is on Dr. Phil expressing how she hates black people so much. She calls them gorillas. She's actually more racist than a lot of people we think are of as racist.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it in this the rest of this clip, but in the end, she calls the KKK and is like getting voicemails from them. It's really surreal. I can't even describe what's going on. Is it like racial dysmorphia?
It reminds me of the Chappelle clip of the blind racist who takes off and people's heads explode when they find out he's black because she admittedly Treasure thinks of herself as white. But this isn't just being white.
Does she think that her actual, does she think her skin is white? Like, is it, what does she see?
On the show, she speaks on hating her skin tone and trying to be whiter. And she describes black people as rude, obnoxious, and loud.
Is this real?
That's the whole take.
Because was Bad Baby, was that real?
I believe
think so.
now, knowing
I
who
think
she
that-
is as a person,
I feel like it
real.
kind of was set up, and then she fell into that role. I mean, she was a crazy girl anyway, but like, you know what I'm saying? I want to know like how much of this is real. And if this isn't real, that's so messed up that people are writing shit like this to put on TV.
Yeah, see, because I can agree with you there. I'll admit I watch a lot of this trashy television, like this and Jerry Springer and Maury. I don't know why. I love those shows. But as someone,
honestly, Mike, just to be fair, I could see a lot of people you might know being on those shows.
Oh, no,
I feel like when you look at
no.
Tell me if you didn't know Mike as a person, Mike doesn't look like a person who would have been on Jerry Springer.
He would not have been on it.
I feel like he would have.
No, dude, Jerry
he would have been
Springer's
the
like
bodyguard. of
Oh,
the show.
yeah. Okay. But I don't feel
All
like
right,
you being
I'll take
you
that.
wouldn't be like a character.
I could see him
in
being
it.
a character on the show.
I would
Okay,
as someone who's watched a lot of these shows, I can say that a lot of the times I think there are fake stories.
Scripted, yeah.
And I would say Bad Baby was probably played up as well, but like you said, she fell into this role. I think it's the same thing with Treasure. That's her name?
Treasure.
I'm just confused because, like, you know how on casting websites and stuff, you'll see, like, oh, we're casting for a couple for a show, like, or do you have, like, marriage or marital problems? And so it's like you pick a little bit of truth and then you write that out to be something bigger.
Yeah, because
and it doesn't matter what the truth would be here. It's really completely messed up. But, like, I just don't understand if it's real or not. Like,
They
is Dr.
don't
Phil real?
Pay enough for
he's
it
not a real doctor.
to be this.
But it could turn into something. Like, it's given her such a platform.
And yet it's given her such backlash.
A negative one.
So unlike
but
Bad
Baby was a negative platform too, though. And she turned
But
it into a
wasn't.
multi-million-dollar.
We made her into a star, but with Treasure, people are ostracizing her. She's getting death threats. What is the platform that she wishes to get money from
I'm not
white
saying
supremacist groups and performing for them?
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know here. It just is a little. It's odd that this would be fully.
Yeah, I don't even really know what to say. It seems like she kind of not as reading a script, but she definitely hits words that are,
Trigger words,
buzzwords.
right,
Yeah,
right.
buzzwords that are going to piss people off. With that being said, though, she isn't a good person. Deep down, she seems like, even if she is playing it up, there is some sort of hate there, and I think it's a self-hate. Like I mentioned, body dysmorphia. You look in the mirror and you see something that's not really there. I think that's what she's seeing. I don't know why she's that way. I'm sure there's something that happened in her childhood that makes her feel this way. It's just unfortunate that is happening to her, and then it's being paraded around on TV.
Especially with her ripping off dolls' heads, that's no longer self-hate. That's scary.
Yeah.
Serial
Like, what are you
killer.
going to do to somebody else, right? Or your mom or your siblings or.
Especially coming off the weekend that we had with the hate crimes that went on in America that were just disturbing and grotesque and despicable actions of hate. This kind of talk and rhetoric is something that we should be aware of. And with Treasure, as people are hating her, I pity her and hope that somehow, some way, with a real doctor, there's a form of rehabilitation and fixing her and her mental.
What did Dr. Phil
anguish.
say? I mean, how did it end?
Mike watches these shows.
Mike,
I only saw
Mike,
the
will you
clip.
help me? Do you know like what?
Oh
he
no,
did?
I mean that clip is only about 4 minutes long.
I feel like I need to research this.
Because you mentioned it blew up. This is before I saw this clip before the show. I had never heard of her.
I didn't either, but I saw a bunch of memes on Instagram this weekend with her face, and I was just like, oh, it must be some girl like. I don't know.
Honestly, though, how these shows always kind of end, it's oh, hey, look at this person. Hey, let's try to resolve this, and then it just doesn't resolve. And then it'll be like, hey, maybe we'll see you in 2 weeks for the check-in. It's nothing ever happens on that show. It's just parading people around that
For
have
entertainment
issues.
purposes, right?
Yeah.
I will say that what we shouldn't do as a society is give platforms to people who are in anguish, because it only encourages other people
To do it
act
and
in
to
this.
fake it, even if like this girl might really believe that, but somebody else may not and just wants to get notoriety, and then you just I don't know. It's messed
For the
up.
Instagram fame, we've
Yeah.
all been in a situation
What
where
about
we've
that rapper
taken a
in
picture.
Canada? Did you hear about the Canadian rapper that was
No.
filming like a music video for his IGTV? He got and he was on a plane, like on the wing of the plane as the plane's moving, and he fell off and died.
Oh no.
I mean, that's very sad.
It's sad,
say I'm
but that's what I'm
surprised.
saying. Like, people are doing things for views.
But my
and it's
question,
gonna
my
take-
bigger question is, how did he even get to the playing field? I can't even go through the gate without
Well, it was
being
a private
searched
plane.
for.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like a littler
okay.
plane. It wasn't like,
was
United
like a private
Airlines, but it was, it was a at a private plane at a small airport, and the guy has like 7,000 followers or something. Like,
well, that's the case. A lot of people are doing it for the gram,
right.
and
you're dead.
They're doing it for the
followers.
fame, and it's horrible. It's a horrible movement, and there's so much hate in the world right now. Why not give a platform to love?
A platform like Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live doesn't promote hate.
Oh, that's true. Because BHL fans, Black Hollywood Live is the first urban digital broadcast network in existence. Since its inception, BHL has prided itself on creating outstanding content in all areas, from news, music, and politics to lifestyle and entertainment. We're not only given a choice, but a voice to the often underserved Black and Latino community. We've also provided new hosts with the dopest platform to exercise their talents. And that's not all. BHL has done the same for many of Hollywood's A-list, including Oprah Winfrey, whom has made multiple BHL appearances and has given us several shout-outs. Now, the Black Hollywood Live Network needs your help. How can you do that? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. That's how. Subscribing to our YouTube channel will also help you find new shows we're sure you'll love. And if you're worried about annoying notifications, don't be. They are optional. So hit the subscribe button now. It's easy and helps us continue our work. Let us know how you did in the comments, and we'll show you love on air. Thanks for being supportive fans to BHL, helping us take the network to the next level and continue to redefine Hollywood.
Yeah, thanks everyone for the support. You guys are the dopest fans. Dopest fans.
Please don't
dopest
ever say
supporter.
that.
The
Please don't
See what I did there?
Did you see how he would be on Jerry Springer?
dopest fans.
Please don't do that.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
I appreciated it.
Moving
Of
on
course
now.
you did.
I'm here for Michael today. I think his energy is way better than yours.
I'm going to need
Hey.
everyone to be a little more culturally sensitive. Thank you.
Let's move on to Nicki.
Moving on now, Nicki Minaj, another one of these clips. I'll just say that. Let's take a look.
Okay.
That was a great intro, to be honest, for this particular clip. So we see Nicki Minaj, and she's doing a self video. She's rapping to her song, but what stands out here is her breasts and her breast size, and she's kind of caressing herself in a way. She's clothed, but she's like rubbing her blue-colored hair, but then rubbing her breasts. She's literally giving herself a mammogram.
I don't think there's that much pressure that it would be a mammogram, but
It
yeah.
wasn't.
She's definitely teasing you.
The concept is she's showing off her body and her breasts. And a lot of talk online was how she is feeling the pressure from Cardi B, and that's what she's trying to do when she's pushing for this.
I just find these videos to be so hilarious.
Does it make you uncomfortable?
No, it's just funny. She's just standing there
Rubbing her
rapping and
tits.
just touching
Rubbing her
herself.
tits. Like, if you actually break it down to what's really going on, it is hilarious. Like, you're so into yourself that you're rapping your own music while
Sure.
playing with your nipples
Hey, but good for her
on
though.
Instagram.
If I had her body and her songs, maybe I would do the same thing.
I don't know.
The concept we're really toying with is she only doing this also for the gram? It has Nicki Minaj, who's a legend and icon, a rap dynamo turned into just another basic bitch in this case. And that's what the discussion is. Did you feel basic bitchness,
Very much
Abigail?
so.
Mike? Yeah, there's nothing, because that's what I was gonna mention. Like, is this supposed to be attractive? Like, what's the purpose here? Because it's boring. Like, she's not even doing anything. You know what I mean? It is basic, because if she's trying to outdo Cardi B, I feel like you're gonna need to be way more out there than she is.
Yeah, and it's almost like there's no production value in this, and that's what I think I'm looking at when you have someone of her standard
And her
caliber and her celebrity. Like, when you're posting things, let's do something. Let's do something that's gonna look good and be celebrity, a star quality.
Well,
this is something that you see, and I don't even know if I call it basic bitch, because I feel like basic bitch is technically like basic, boring. Like, that's not basic. Her breasts aren't basic. Like, the wig's not basic. Like, I don't think she's doing, like, technically it's like, you know, pumpkin spice latte is like basic bitch or whatever. This, I think, is just like kind of trashy and like slutty.
I don't
basic.
think it's slutty or trashy, actually, personally. I
no.
just think it's just beneath who we think of as Nicki Minaj, who she should be, at least.
Yeah.
And the concept is, there was nothing specifically boring if you had a sex drive, Mike, but when you're watching it, it's just something that you would expect an Instagram girl to do and not Nicki Minaj to do.
Yeah.
That has their money app on their
Exactly.
thing.
And it's also, when it comes to production and things like that, I will always defend the personal touch that people give. But the difference is when Cardi B does it, she's speaking on a subject, whether you agree with what she's saying or not, she's giving you a viable slice of her personality. With Nicki Minaj, we simply only saw what was given as an insincere form of self-flattery or sexuality, which we did not fully believe. And that's why it's coming off as, Nicki, you are one of the baddest B words in the world. You should act like it. Don't let Cardi B, her success, be something that motivates you or inspires you, or in this case, uninspires us as an audience.
And I think they're two very different kinds of celebrities. Like, Nicki, I think, is a more traditional celebrity, where like a Beyonce, where you don't see Beyonce like sharing her, she's not talking on her Instagram Live or whatever. And you see that with Cardi, because Cardi is a reality star turned celebrity.
But that's what a lot of our celebrities are, that personal touch. And that's why Cardi B's clearly the more popular.
But she started there and then became a celebrity. Nicki started as a celebrity.
I think Nicki, I think Nicki just feels corporate now. She almost seems corporate, like she has to be safe. Like I think what's interesting about Cardi B is that it almost seems like she's just doing all of this because that's actually how she feels, and that's what she likes to do. And I feel almost like in recent months, even Nicki Minaj has kind of toned down almost the Nicki Minaj that we used to know. It feels corporate, honestly.
She can't back a lot of the things she wants to say up with sales either.
She's said a lot of stuff, and the concept of it is, I think people forget the age discrepancy between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Cardi B is only like 24.
Yeah.
The maturity level is different. And Cardi B actually is in the club. She's out. I've seen her all this week, and she really enjoys that life. And so all we're saying is, if this is the real Nicki, then we appreciate it, but we don't feel like it is. And that's why. As far as the reality touch, I feel like a lot of celebrities are now, there's a whole combination where reality star, celebrity, and talent all have to combine.
I agree with that.
People are touching their audience,
but she didn't
fans.
Start there, so I don't think it's as natural.
But even with Beyonce, as we see now, she's growing into that Rihanna role of, even the way she interacts, the songs she puts out, everything is so much more personal than it ever was, because they saw such a success in Rihanna that they had to duplicate something in that path for Beyonce. With Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, where we always pit our female artists against each other.
Which is so horrible.
It's so silly. It's silly, and unfortunately, it's a situation where I feel like there's it's such a limit on the female artists that are allowed, quote unquote, to get into the space, that they should all work together to build up, so that there's so many that we can allow for fighting.
Yeah.
Where it's just so many, where now it's also, we don't care. Because it's just that we have two artists at any time. There's the old and then there's the new, and
Yeah, because it was the same way with Nicki and Young Kim when she first started.
Yeah.
Moving on now, something a little bit more interesting, I guess. Steph Curry was giving an interview. I'm not really sure on what network right here, but he's got a teammate with a tough to pronounce last name, and he kind of messes it up in this video.
What Frank Nicolina, is that how you pronounce it? How he played tonight has obviously showed a lot of promise.
He definitely said Nicolina. Now, clearly, that's not his last name. His last name is Ntilikina.
It's like Ntilikina.
Ntilikina. There we go.
This is on his team?
He's on his team. And so I think Steph...
I'm living for this right now.
People think...
LeBron would never mispronounce his teammate's last name.
But I think he did it on purpose. I think it was an inside joke in the team. And Steph is a superstar. He had 51 points in 3 quarters against top 5 Wizards point guards, John Wall, which is crazy. He played it like it was nothing. And then he's just rolling over teams. So he's having fun. He's being funny. But calling his teammate Nicolina, is that bad or good? Are we okay with that or not?
I think he's allowed to say what he wants,
Yeah. Good answer, Abigail. Good answer.
Yeah.
What did he call his teammate? Mike?
Let's not.
See, I can't do that, man.
Well,
I'm not
do
gonna
it.
fall
Let's
for
not
that
play
trap.
these games today.
I'm
I'm not falling in that trap.
asking.
Moving along.
Moving on, yeah, Steph was having fun. This next video we're gonna look at features an overprotective father, I guess you could say. He discovers his daughter's twerk video.
So
on
here
Instagram.
we are looking at there's no sound, so we are looking at a video of a teenage daughter.
Is she a teenage? Do we know how old she is?
She's teenage. She's
Yeah.
high school and under. So she's twerking on the video, and then afterwards we see a cut to. So the father's looking at it on his phone, and then we see a cut to the father whooping the daughter. Now, it's not playing now. We can check it on WorldStar, and we see the father whooping the
there we
daughter.
go.
Oh, here we go. So here's the daughter poolside twerking, and then this is what we see with the cord. The father basically whooping his daughter's backside.
Do we think this is staged?
I do not think this is staged. And as he's whipping her and she runs out, that was a real run.
Okay.
That was a real run, and that was what I felt a father's love and anger colliding into one.
Right. I mean, that's aggressive. I don't think that's the way to handle the situation. I think you handle the situation with, hey, you're under 18, and there are perverts out there that like children.
I understand. And then giving them time out and then telling them to go to the room.
Not giving them time out.
And making them count to 10.
But making them understand, like, what's at risk. Like, I don't think necessarily, I mean, I was hit as a kid. We went over this. Actually, it was before you got here because you were late. But, but I just don't think that is going to help.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's going to create some trauma.
How come when I'm late, everyone's mad, but when you're late, everyone's happy?
Because I'm usually.
I meant with that. I apologize.
You took
Different
that
ways.
too far.
I'm so sorry. So here's the thing. Okay, so we saw the whooping, which was.
Yeah.
What would you do if your daughter was twerking?
I mean, this is a tough situation because I feel right now we're almost kind of promoting that kind of behavior.
It's one thing to do it. It's another thing to put it on a platform where everyone can see it.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're talking about promoting people like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B who are doing that live on stage. Those are icons that girls look up to.
But they're also over 18, and I think that's the thing you need to have the conversation at.
Sure, there needs to be a conversation.
Hey, you're actually a minor.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary. Have you seen some of the 16-year-olds that are walking around?
Oh, yeah, Bad Baby's like 14, isn't she?
15.
15. Like, those are people that are going to be picked up by like 20 to 30-year-old men and not know that they're a 16-year-old. So
yeah.
While
even if they do know they're 16-year-olds,
they're not going to care.
unfortunately.
But what I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to try and go the more innocent route of like, if you have a girl who is trying to act like she's above the age of 18, like she needs to understand that there's things that are going to happen
that are above the
age of 18. Yeah, you can't be shaking your ass like that as a 15-year-old and put it online and think that.
So we're against the twerking.
I'm for twerking in a safe space if you're under the age of 18.
So in the bathroom before you go in the shower.
Or like with your friends, like when you have a sleepover, y'all practice the twerking videos. Like you put it on your TV and you have fun that way. But like I don't think it needs to be put online for other people to see.
Yeah, I've never really understood why people do that in the first place. I mean, I always see it as kind of, if that's how you want to express yourself, that's how you want to express yourself. If you want to go out and treat yourself and just expose yourself, that's what you want to do, you know? I mean, we looked at what was her name? Ruby Rose. You know, that's what she wants to do. That's self-expressive. If she is under the age of 18, which I think we're understanding it is, right, then yeah, that shouldn't be done. And she may not know the consequences of that.
Right.
With that being said, there's a mature way to handle that and educating her. Beating her with a belt doesn't educate anybody. It just creates a psychological thing in your brain that goes, if I do this, I'm going to get hit. It doesn't teach you why it's bad.
I think it also would start some idea as a female of, okay, well, who knows how old she is, but me expressing my sexuality now is actually linked to being beat, when in reality, you can express your sexuality, but if you're under the age of 18, you need to be doing it in a safe space, which is not Instagram.
What's your take on this, Tehran?
Honestly, you guys both made compelling arguments. I just feel like in a minority household,
right,
beatings are way more common, and we accept it. Whether that's a good thing or not a good thing has yet remained to be seen. I do know that I do appreciate the take on that's a conversation. It's a real conversation, especially if that works. Now, if it continues, I don't know. And I don't know about the expression of self in that manner, because we also have to understand responsibility and sexual responsibility. Now, the problem is when
think
we
it's an
only do
expression of
sexual
sexuality.
responsibility for girls and not for
Right,
guys.
right.
I think it's something that we have to, that's not gender specific. We have to have a conversation in that regards. But I do know that if anyone in my house was caught twerking, bruh, that was actually really nice. Dad let daughter run away. Like, I would have had people track us down, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. It's just, we've moved as a society in two different directions on two different topics, where twerking has become okay and beatings have not.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just different cultures. People growing up in different cultures, different ideas of what is okay and what's in it, and what isn't. You know. Moving on from this, something a lot lighter and pretty funny. A girl comes home from school and tells her mom about her day, and it leads to be quite a funny story.
So, this boy in our class, he pooped his pants, and
In your class?
yeah,
Ew.
he pooped his pants, and he didn't know it, or he was trying to act like he was trying to act like he didn't do it. But
For
he's
those
not,
listening on the
like, straight up
podcast,
shit.
it's a cute
So like when we were in
young
Miss
black
Morrison's
girl who's just
classroom,
come home from her day at school.
once
We're
every-
looking at her
so this
being
girl
in
told me,
6th or
"Aiden
7th
smells
grade
like
at the
shit."
most.
And
And
then-
she's come home and
we give
she's
it a
had...
fourth
these
grade.
two boys laughing,
Did he smell like
Possibly.
shit?
yeah, joking
See,
about how he
they'll
smelled
get
like
you with
shit.
how old they look.
Well,
Making, jokes
you're
about
not
him.
getting me, but the concept is,
Did you laugh?
I thought she was older because of the maturity that
What'd
she
I tell you
has
about
and the
that?
language
Inside,
that
I
she's
left
using.
inside.
I left
That ain't
inside.
nice. Is it not? Would you want somebody to laugh at you if you shit?
I would want to know if I shit.
See, that's why I
You
gave
should
her a
know
little
if you
older,
should.
6th or
But he
7th
didn't
grade.
know
There's a
if he
lot of
shit.
How
personality.
do you not know if you shit?
I don't know. And when Miss Morrison walked by him, she asked him if he had to go to the bathroom, and he said no. But then the next time she walked across him, she said go to the bathroom, and then in the hallway, she said go to the nurse's office.
Did you see the shit?
But she could smell it.
How you know he shit though?
It smelled like you when you shit.
Oh, and she
Oh.
drops the bar. And that's what the whole point of the video is, that she goes back at the mom. Now, there a whole lot of discussion online regarding the story is actually very funny. But would you let your preteen daughter use the word shit and curse the way that this mother did in front of the daughter? I mean, I was allowed to use the word shit in my household.
Same.
Shit was
An
a very
ass.
common thing, where
I wasn't.
and it's also because of, once again, the difference in cultures. It was just, shit was okay. There were a lot of words that were not, but shit wasn't on that list.
Yeah, it was okay for us too. I mean, I couldn't say it like at my parents or something. You know,
Of course,
if it
I
was
could
in
be
like,
shit.
yeah, yeah, like,
It wasn't that.
But you remember when you first started like swearing,
Yeah.
or you thought you were really cool. Like I got in so much trouble in middle school when I first started saying the F word. I'd like drop it all the time, and they're like, "Abby, like, what are you doing? Like, stop! It's not appropriate." But I think shit's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's if she's okay with her daughter doing that, that's what they want to do. I mean, I wasn't allowed to say those things around my family when I was that age. That's what we were talking about. I don't know how old she is. That's what stood out to me in that video, because she seems young to me.
Yeah.
And the way that they were using that word was so
Common.
Yeah, it was. I think that was one of the most interesting parts of this video to me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't like my child to talk like that in front of me.
No, and I think it's like, but it's also like, when do you decide what age? Like, oh, you're in 5th grade now, you can say shit. Like, you know, I don't know, but I also think it's cool to have a dynamic with your child where they're not hiding things, because then I think that will escalate in the future with like more serious things if they're comfortable around you. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have kids, so I don't have the answers.
I know. I'm 22 years old. I don't know anything about taking care of kids, so this is all just conjecture for now. Moving on from this.
Pull out game strong, Mike. Pull out game strong.
Moving on for this one, we got another funny clip for you. It's what a
Hood
Yeah.
haunted house would be like.
yeah.
A haunted house in the hood.
Let's take a look at it.
Damn, nigga got me going to this haunted house, nigga.
Wait, what you mean? I heard this whole scary as a
Nigga, we too old for this shit, nigga.
Bro,
Don't scare me, nigga. Come on.
Shit, what the fuck? They got girls in here?
This your baby.
Watch out.
So then you see a girl just standing there.
You think we scared? We'll drop your
No, it's a guy in a mask.
Oh, good. That's a 14.
Yeah, them hoes are quick.
And he pulls out some Jordans and starts smushing them.
Come on.
Bro, what the fuck? Do y'all smoke?
Nigga, yes, we smoked it. We ain't get blown out. What you got? Come on. Let's go.
What you said, 2 or what?
You guys are under arrest. Get on fucking ground.
So this is
I
just
love this
it's
video.
a funny clip of a haunted house in the hood. You see, and these are guys who do videos. They go into this house and there's a baby mom, and she throws the baby at the guy. He gets scared. They see a man just ominously standing there in a mask. And they're like, you think I'm scared of you? And then he pulls out some Jordans and starts squishing them, or some 14s start squishing them. And then they go in, which are like rare, really good shoes. And then they go into the garage, and there's a guy's like, y'all smoke? Yeah, we smoke. Like, you're under arrest, and they run. So it's just a fun, it's good humored.
Yeah, I like that. The thing that I thought though of is, I don't know if any of you collect sneakers. The thing is, I think people would actually react like that. I've seen people go crazy. I don't get the whole shoe thing.
Well, do you have any nice things? You know why? And I'm gonna tell you something. The only people I've ever seen with dirty white shoes are white people. Like, I don't know what it is about that.
Yeah.
But
I was
they
like,
will
now I'm
wear
looking-
some
now I'm
dirty
looking at
white
mine.
shoes.
It's like, it's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful
like
to the
it really
shoe.
is.
I was like, I think I wear a pair of shoes normally that I've had for like 3 years.
It grosses me out, actually. Like, and I'm not gonna go and say like it's only white people that do it, but like I remember, like, I don't know, my parents were like, shoes are like, those are. When you step out of the house, you're representing yourself. So when you're stepping out of the house and like people walk on the backs of their shoes and stuff like that, oh my God, it's horrible. Horrible. I agree.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I would go that far, but that's how I felt.
Yeah, it's tough, but I love that clip. Moving on now, we're gonna go to our last clip of the day. Tehran, what do you think what should we end on today?
Well, I mean, there's this one clip, especially in the honor of Halloween. We have a clip of a Halloween mask. There's
like
this
that one.
makeup artist, Julie, who has different types of masks, and it's possibly the scariest things I've ever seen. So I've never done Halloween like this. So now you see, and it looks like her face is literally pulling off. And
oh my God, it's a mask
peels
on
off,
a mask.
and there's a
Yeah.
and it's just makeup. She's done makeup with it and used certain things, but it looked like you could see the muscles under her skin. Now she looks like a zombie. Now she has a cross, and her teeth are visible, and her tongue. And I don't know how she does this, but it's all makeup and makeup tutorial. And she loves to experiment with different styles of makeup, which is.
If you met this professional makeup artist in a dark alley looking like this, you would
And
definitely run in the other direction.
She's a very attractive, fun person with a fun personality, and then she uses all this different techniques of makeup on herself, mind you. It's not like someone else is doing this to her, which I've always thought was fascinating when we watch makeup videos. She's doing this to herself.
Do you watch those in the comfort of your home?
I have seen makeup videos. I think the tutorials, especially because they're so popular and for the different shows that I've done.
Yeah.
Because some of us work in Hollywood, and the concept is I watch it to and speak on it. There used to be a young lady, Michelle Fan, and she did makeup videos, and I used to be on her network, and I would watch a lot of these makeup videos, and I was like, that's always interesting that girls could do this while they're driving, by the way. But so for anyone who's like, women are best drivers on the planet, they do so much as they're driving. I try to change a song and I die, right? So she's just doing this to herself, and the makeup is impeccable and it's amazing, and it's all stuff that technically we can all do, and it always fascinates me to watch people with a talent. But she's drawing on her teeth on her own lips, and they look like real teeth.
They do. It's so good.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane that she can do that to herself. You know, because I just started wearing makeup the other day for TV news stuff, and I can't even put on foundation right.
Mike, we don't judge, bro. Listen, this is a safe space. This is a no judgment zone.
Yeah.
So you don't have to create a story of why. We just know.
We just wish Tehran wore makeup, you know?
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Mad respect to her.
That's true. I do give her a lot of respect.
Props.
I would definitely be scared if I saw her in a dark alley.
I would be scared if I saw Abigail in a dark alley without makeup on. Can we?
That would be.
Yeah, it's great, guys.
That'd be
Scares
fun.
me all the time. Scares me all the time.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we've got for today for this episode of Worldstar Weekly. My name's Michael Patterson. You can find me on Twitter at MikePatNews. That's MikePattnews. Abigail, where can we find you?
Thanks for joining us, guys. You can find me on all social media at Abigail_AF.
And in alleys without makeup on. And my name is Tehran. Find me at I Am Tehran all across the board. That's IAMTEHRAN. Thank you so much for watching. We love reading your comments below. So make sure to share and subscribe and tell all your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. Worldstar Weekly is here to stay.
Awesome. And be sure to check us out next week, next Sunday, 4 o'clock for the next list of videos that we got for you from Worldstar Weekly. See you guys.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.